said the bank is not doing enough to help struggling homeowners. Now, discontent from New York to Washington as the president also gave big bankers at the White House yet another supposed shaming yesterday.
I made very clear that I have no intention of letting their lobbyists thwart reforms necessary to protect the American people. If they wish to fight common sense consumer protections, that's a fight I'm more than willing to have.
Now, that message, of course, softened a bit by the fact that the CEO of Goldman Sachs, Lloyd Blankfein, the CEO of Morgan Stanley, John Mack, and the chairman at Citigroup, Richard Parsons, had to phone it in. They got stuck in the fog. It was one of those things that couldn't make it anyway. It's just the president, and it's just the banking system of America, so who really needs to be there? For all the grand gestures, of course, where are we on actual financial reform in our legislature? The House legislation passed on Friday is any indication, it's stuck with a lot of huge loopholes set to appear to protect consumers while protecting the biggest profit centers for the banks, namely the credit derivative markets and all of the sort of swap and non-transparent dark markets, proprietary trading, and all the rest of it, which is where you make your money if you're going to use other people's money. Joining us now from Capitol Hill, Democratic Congressman Ed Perlmutter serves on the House Financial Services Committee. Representative Perlmutter, how do you explain all the loopholes in the bill on Friday?
Dylan, I think that we have a bill that really is pretty complete. You may call them loopholes. I would disagree with you. What we have is really an effort to rein in the derivatives, rein in some of the Wild West practices of Wall Street. And
so let's stop there. How is exempting all foreign derivatives, which is half of the entire market, how is exempting all of the end users, which is basically a giant taxpayer-subsidized crooked insurance market, how is exempting anybody with this balance sheet risk exemption, and how is allowing swaps traded on alternative, how is that being tough on a market that has had no regulation since it was created in 2000 with the Commodity Futures Modernization Act, and to this day is utilized by the banks to jack their profits? And why don't we want to actually have an exchange for that when you consider that TARP at the very beginning, at its outset, was created, was authorized to create an exchange for this, and now it's a year later and still you guys are exempting it?